Hello there. I'm a new computer I got for school. I originally thought maybe I can use NDIS to get this new laptop for school because I really needed it. I don't have the money for one, but I got the money out, and then I thought I was going to get like a proper programming computer, a good one. It was about $3,000, to help me get ahead. But after I applied for the money on NDIS, I thought, oh, maybe it's not a good idea because they say, oh, it's got to be disability or something. So I rang up Mum and said, oh, can I borrow some money? And she was happy to give me some. So she doesn't have much, but it's part of our inheritance. So I got the money from Mum instead. So I cancelled the NDIS. And I thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't spend all that money on a programming laptop because really, where I'm at probably isn't necessary just yet to do that kind of thing. And I thought, what's involved with a programming laptop? What's the difference? And I think the only difference really is it had a really snazzy graphics card in it, which, for a gamer wouldn't be that good, but for someone rendering or doing CAD work or something, it would probably be quite good. It had I think it was an Arc A1000 or something. So it was an Intel, but so I looked at some other ones. This ZenBook popped up, and I thought, oh, it's got Intel Evo. That's me. I'm Evo. So I had to get the one with the Evo on it, Evo edition, and I wasn't just that. Like I liked the idea of the touchscreen. It's got a touchscreen on it, so I can do stuff with the touchscreen. I want to get a little stylus pen so I can quickly take notes when people are talking. It'll probably wobble the screen a bit, but if I do it gently, it'll probably work. I just need some note-taking software. I'm not sure what, but I don't know what pen to get because it didn't come with one, so I'm a bit annoyed it didn't come with a pen. But I think all the touchscreens should come with a pen, but apparently you can get them different brands, different prices. I think the one I looked at was $100. I can't afford that yet, so it's got to wait. And I'm probably at the end of school before I get it, And I'll be like, oh, I can't use it now. Such is the way the world is, but usually happens in our family since the budget cuts. Or whatever they did something to all the money. Dad couldn't finish his house, couldn't get the power on. And we had to go rent, and then that was the story of our life, suffering. So, but yeah, so I bought this, and then I thought, oh, I need to be able to do this and then sit and do my homework on the big screen because I got a keyboard and stuff. So I bought a big telly, and so that and that together added up to the cost of the other laptops. So yeah, it was about this was about 1,600, and this was about 1,500, and the telly was 1,600. So it was about the cost of the really snazzy looking laptop I was looking at, which was the most expensive one they had, but I think it would have been good. I've had problems with this ZenBook with hacking and Wi-Fi, and the drivers for Bluetooth would drive me mad, but I worked out how to fix that. You got to uninstall the drivers in the device manager for sound and Bluetooth, and then I think you got to go into the actual driver list under device manager, and then uninstall them all, and then go into the I think Asus website or Intel website might be, or it might be Asus. Yeah, I think it's Asus. So you look up the audio drivers, and it'll actually install the new ones. Whereas if you leave the old ones on, it just installs a software program. It doesn't give you the new drivers. So if anyone's got a ZenBook, you can look that up and it'll work. I found that little workaround. I don't know why my cloud's flashing. Why is that flashing? Flashing. Not sure why. It's face recognition isn't the best. Unless it only works when you're really close up. It's not working again. Why aren't you working? Whoops, I just closed the camera. Look at that. It's got a little camera, a little closer thing on it. Can't remember my pin, so I'll have to close that. Anyway, so yeah, I was just doing my homework today, or my lectures. I've got school. I'm at RMIT doing lectures, and I'm studying electronics because basically I didn't want to be left in the dark, left behind the rest of the world. I wanted to try and keep up and catch up, and probably doing it the hard way with a lot of antagonism and mentioning, all this Jesus business. I got not only did I get the tech companies on my back about me saying I wanted to build a non-binary computer, I think they all teamed up against me. I got the Catholics hating me and or whatever they're doing, something, trying information, or just want to be left alone. I think once you go to heaven, you leave people alone, you don't bother people who've gone to heaven, so... But, fair enough, they got their noses out of the joint, their ego's bruised, I don't know why, really, over some guy who existed 2,000 years ago. It's like, wake up, I think he's gone. So, if he's here now, if he's me or not, he's not that same person, he's... the same spirit, maybe the same soul, but he's got a different life now. He's not going to be walking around like a druid, bloody healing the sick in the street. It's a bit ridiculous. I've got my own life to live. I've got my own interests. I don't need people bothering me. Or if you want to be a Christian, come and say hello and be my friend. That's what Christians are. They're friends of Christ. They're not terrorists. So, Christ is Allah. Christ is Krishna. Christ is all the... there's only the one God, so make the most of me while I'm here. So always open to suggestions or whatever. I try and think of everything up myself to the point I've become a Kryptonian son. So that's how much work I've done helping other people. So it's just being there as a friend for them when they needed someone to pray to, basically. And in the end, I had to tell people to stop doing it. You just leave me on my own, just praying all the time. Where's it getting you? You got to get to know people. You can't just pray at them all the time. I still do it, but anyway, I don't understand. If someone's here in the now, in the flesh, you go talk to them. You don't just pray at them because you're not going to get the right answers after a while. You're going to get your own back at you. So after doing it that much, you'll get ignored because there's only so much interest I have in that kind of thing, prayer. If you really don't need anything, why are you praying? And I'm not a crowned king. I can't help you with anything really, so I can only give a bit of advice, but that's run out in terms of what I can give. I've got my own life to live. Can't be doing that all the time. So if you don't recognise it, that's your own problem. So yeah, it may not look like your iconic Christ you imagine with the long flowing hair and the beard, and why would I, living here in Heidelberg? I get around me daggy t-shirts and that because I've got no money. I'd dress up nice if I had the money. I had my wife. I'd look fucking fantastic. Like probably even grow. I like long hair. I'd probably grow my hair long and have a long beard, and I look fantastic. But I don't feel great because I'm not married. I'm not making love. I don't have my kids with me, and so you got to put up with the way people are. You don't just reject them or hate them for who they are. You just accept people. You just love them and invite them into your communities and into your lives, and just accept who they are. And I don't think about all that old stuff. That's what Christians think about. I'm not living in the past. I'm just trying to help you understand that Christ is a person. You don't just treat them like they were 2,000 years ago. They've moved on, lived a lot of life. I've invented music and technology and industry and aviation. I've done all sorts of things. I was probably one of the Wright brothers. I've probably been to the moon and back. So I'm not just this little hobbly little bloke hobbling around the streets trying to help lepers anymore. I've done heaps of stuff, and I'm working on new things. I've probably done all my study really for this course that I wanted to. But I wouldn't mind getting a certificate. It would probably help a little bit just to say getting a job or anything. I could say, yeah, I've got a bit of paper, but I've done enough study really. Pretty much run its course of what I need, but to do some things I want to do, just learn how to build my own circuits, and I can probably learn the rest from YouTube or just get a book on stuff, or get a book on Altium or something, or or maybe there's a better program I can get. Altium tends to be a bit scratchy in terms of finding the components you want. I'm wondering if there's one maybe a bit more expensive that's set up a bit better, that has all the right components. So Altium, I just find it's hard to find parts that you exactly want unless you go to different sites. There should be one that has it all, but I guess it's a bit hit and miss, isn't it? Because you've got things coming and going, changing all the time. It's hard to keep track of it. Who's going to keep track of that database? It's a lot of components to deal with. So maybe Altium's the best one. Maybe it's best for learning. I think there might be a better one somewhere, like some kind of CAD one or something, whatever. I know some Linux ones, but they're probably just more just designing. They probably don't have all the references to all the parts and things. I don't know if they even have a table of parts, builder materials section or what. I'd love to just design a little circuit, send it off, and get it back in the mail, and it's all good, and I can set it up, and almost need some kind of little remote controlled little soldering device to do all the chips, really. I wonder if you can buy something like that you put your plate in, it scans it, then you make sure you mark up all the parts, make sure they're all right, then it just goes along and solders them all. I mean, there have to be something like probably like 10 grand or something, but I'd love a little machine that just does that. Maybe up to the size of a motherboard or something, The thing I want to build, without giving much away, I haven't given anything away yet. I don't think anyone's pinched my ideas or anything. It's all sort of been kept quiet by different bodies. Have sort of kept my privacy concerns and stressed me out a bit. But it's alright. I appreciate everyone's help and keeping me safe and being exposed a bit on Facebook for my beliefs. But I'm still happy in the community. I'm still feeling safe. I'm a bit tired and run down, but ultimately, I think it's just pressure from the increased heat in the atmosphere. It's giving us all a bit of pressure, isn't it? And smog, and it all builds up. Everyone feels a bit stressed around each other if they don't know each other, and when you love each other, you feel relaxed. When you don't, you're at each other's at odds with people. You do feel stressed, and that's fair enough. And I unfortunately don't have the money to get out and meet people much. I'm down to my last few bucks again, and I haven't checked if my money come through. I applied for a little bit of money for some food and supplies. I had to get some stuff the other day, a few things like consumables. I hope the NDS understand I need a few things in my week to support me. I don't think you should support a disability. I think you should support a person, basically, because if you support disability, you're supporting illnesses, and why would you want to keep supporting a sickness? I think support a person's recovery and a person's life to get on, and instead of like Hannah who killed herself over their debt, just they should have said don't worry about it, and we know your heart's in the right place, trying to help yourself and get ahead, and because they blamed her for that, she's dead. So it's a girl we did a tribute on 3CR. Who died last year, and she'd overspent her NDIS and didn't really realise how to work it, and committed suicide. So it's very sad Hannah's no longer with us. She was a beautiful person and someone I would love to got to know better, but I never got a chance, and only met her a few times. And she was only young. She was probably under 30 as far as I know, and that's what it did to her. So it's mismanagement, it's misunderstanding, it's basically brutality, really, just treating people with no respect at all. And she was a very gentle soul who looked brave on the surface, but was probably crumbling inside and didn't know how to tell anyone, and was trying the best to help herself, and she gets treated like that. And I started off a bit. I didn't know how to work it either. They said, "There's your money," and spend on things you need for recovery. So I got a coach and that, and they sort of said, "Yeah, buy things if you need to." And I asked other people, they're like, "Put it through, and if it goes through, it goes through. If it doesn't, it gets rejected." And but that's not how it works. But that's how people were telling me. You just spend it how you think, and then I was spending on a few things I needed. I couldn't afford to get me out in the community and help me get on with my life and sort of resume trying to get back to normal when you'd already lost hope in life. You got no hope for it. You got no interest in anything. How do you build up interest if all you're doing is talking about stuff with a counsellor? It's you got to get out and do practical things, and there was not scratching to find anything in my area at all. I had to travel across Melbourne to get any. I'd have to travel all the way into Abbotsford from Kilmore every day on the train, just do a bit of artwork for an hour, and then come home again, and that can be very debilitating too if you're not well. But I persevered, and Heidi's group Sidus helped me there, but there's other things. I bought a few things. I bought a membership to get to the footy each week. I used to go to football, and even though I didn't know anyone and I was sort of lost and everything, I really valued that experience to really enrich my life a little bit, just from basically nothing to try and get some excitement happening, because I had no excitement in my life, and that's what footy's good for. That's why you see a lot of disabled people cheering in the crowd, because it gives them something to live for. I always loved the footy, and if you think that's mismanagement of money, that I've spent it wrongly, well, and it's got me this far. I've got my own home and can look after myself, and I've got my own car. I'm studying electronics. I'm helping people in the community. I've done radio. It got me out doing just enough courage to say, yeah, I'll do radio. And that was hard. I'd never been. I did a little bit of radio as a kid. We had a show with a couple of our mates, but doing like a proper, one in Melbourne is pretty bit different than doing a little country show, where you might have two or few viewers. I probably had a few thousand hits on one of my shows, and it was one of the top shows for that year. Telling my story about what I went through and that, and you can see all that on 3CR's website. I think it's 3CR, isn't it? I haven't said the wrong one. 3cr.org, is it? Yeah. It's with Wellwaves, brainwaves. Look up brainwaves. You'll see my name somewhere there from last year. But what I'm trying to say is, you can sit and talk to a psychiatrist, sit and talk to a counsellor, a social worker. They're human. They got their lives to live. They don't know everything about mine. They were really scratching. They were trying hard to try and give me any advice to help me. And all I really wanted was a girlfriend. They can't help me with that. They were sort of saying, get out there and do stuff. I said, I don't have any money. Went around in circles. Who'd want someone who's just been sick? But that's really what I sort of needed to cheer up my emotions. And my emotions were all sort of crying out for someone to hold and love. And probably at my age, that's what I wanted. I still want my kids around. I want some kids born to sort of, feel more included with the community, and I really want to meet my kids and see what they're like, their personalities and what they're good at. And I think I've got some terrific kids waiting there somewhere. I do go on about it, saying a lot of them are Muppets or X-Men or Supermen, or that's in the future. I'm always talking about the future. I'm 100 years ahead of myself, so I'm sure my kids will just be good little scholars, or just fun kids to be around. Not bad kids. They'll just be happy little folk. Depends what wife you find. What she's like and what her qualities are. And I really want someone a bit like. I really just love the idea of having a Barbie sort of wife. I know everyone thinks, why do you want Barbie? It's like, Barbie's not the top of the chain. She's around the middle, around where I am, So I just want someone like me, I'm a bit of a Ken, she's a bit of a Barbie. And I know I'm a bit past my 20s, that's how we think of Barbie and Ken. But as they get older, Ken's probably a bit more like a pilot, or takes on different roles, maybe a scientist or something. Ken can be an old man with long grey hair. It's just a way of defining that relationship that relates to those characters you see. because I always thought I was very plain and very, I don't know what the word is, vanilla or something, where I'm just don't have any distinguishing features. I'm just very um, ambiguous, or my features are very plain, like a plain ice cream. I'm not really got all the nuts and sprinkles. I'm just very simple. That's how I think of Barbie. She's like just that beautiful plain girl that has that natural beauty, that just really happy soul. I just love a girl like that. I lay in bed, wake up, and just love looking into her face and her eyes and her pretty little lips and all that. Oh, it's hard to find. They all end up prostitutes and things. So I get a bit down on the whores and that, because they come back, they want money and stuff, scam you. It's like, you're supposed to be my girlfriend, you're supposed to love me, and you just want to scam me. Like, go to hell. It's horrible the way girls treat boys like that. You should know I don't have any money, you probably got all my money, and scamming me for more. It's like, well, you just come around and have a beer. But yeah, back to what I was working on, just my inventions and things. I like to build some stuff, just work out how to make circuit boards and things, and go from there. Develop my own kind of circuit boards, and just what I'm thinking about. I don't know if I can do it. It's a bit tricky. There's a lot of software that aids your design work, so you're basically covered if you know a bit of basic stuff, how to troubleshoot. You got to be able to pick out the problems in your board and find where you're going wrong. I mean, I understand how all the different components work basically, but why to pick electronics? It's just because it was a bit of I'd sort of done everything else. I mean, probably another thing I haven't done much is motor mechanics. It's another thing that stresses me out, not being able to get a decent mechanic to fix the problems in your car. I just went down all the way down to Brighton, get it fixed, come back a week later, it's the same problem again. So I think what it is with these Peugeots, these 308s, the turbo's cheap as shit. Like, it's just a plastic box. I really need a metal one that's all contained, and you need a proper turbo, and then the other few parts it connects to replaced too. And you can probably keep your engine and stuff, your cooler and batteries and basic electrical, but the other bits have to get probably a new alternator, turbo, probably a new like whatever they air intake or manifold or whatever they call it, carburetor, or you probably need those 3 or 4 bits replaced, and it can probably cost up to like $5,000 just to do that, just with a more upgraded turbo. And then I think the Peugeots are great. That's just what I heard somewhere once, years and years. I heard someone talking about it. And I remember stuff really clearly. I remember them saying, "Oh, you can't use a stock turbo. You've got to upgrade them, otherwise they keep the measurement, the gauges keep breaking, because the turbo's not good enough to keep the right level pressure on at both ends. So if one goes off, the gauge goes off, and then if it keeps happening, the gauge breaks, and then you end up with a depollution system fault or something. I think that's how it works. So I'm not by any means a perfect mechanic or anything, but I think that's how it works. So when I find a decent turbo and fit it in, get someone I know and trust and love to fix it for me, then I think it'll run another 10 years, and I'll be happy with that. All the other parts are sound. It just tends to be the turbos going, and that's what people say. And I don't think people know how to upgrade them. They end up just chucking the cars out, but they need an upgraded turbo. I think you can upgrade probably a couple of levels before you have to go to more of a rally car sort of style car. I think you'd have to upgrade all the other parts, but I think you can go up 1 or 2 levels of turbo. I just go up the one, just so I can get around. But there's all sorts of upgrades for cars. I mean, it's not a big thing in Australia. People tend to just go stock with everything, but you'll get a few enthusiasts. But in America, God, they've got industries of upgraded car parts and stuff that just sit around. No one even uses them. There's so many of them. Australia just so left behind in that area. I wish we were kinder to our customers. I just feel like mechanics are corrupt or something. They just don't treat us with contempt if we're not in their sort of circle of mates, you know. It's how I always feel, you know, like they're going to just do you over. I don't have extra money to give them bribes or bloody extra money. I can't give them extra thousands of dollars like some people probably do. You know, just bare minimum. But I'm going to help you, mates. I've been a good Australian all my life, you know. Okay, I got set back by a drug incident, but apart from that, I've been stellar, you know, helping everyone out and always been there for people everywhere, you know, mind, body, spirit, you know. I just, you know, it's not that I'm complaining. I'm happy with my heaven and what I've achieved, and I just wish the rest of the world would keep up, you know, and just be good people to each other. You know, that's where we're heading in the future. If you're not a nice, kind person, you're not going to make it in the future. You know, we've come from a rotten place back in the past where everyone was cruel and everything. We're heading to a place of like peace and paradise. If you don't want to fit in, well, you know, go home. You know, I think. But it's not just mechanics. It's that whole mindset, that sort of toxic masculinity of, oh, you know, we're blokes and, you know, you don't fuck with us and, oh, we're bikies and, oh, we pay off the cops and, oh, we're drug dealers and this sort of insidious or sort of sickness that hangs around people, you know, it gets people in, and once they're in, they're sort of drug fucked and, you know, I don't know, just that mentality. Back in the day, they were kind of bogans and that kind of people like that. Now they're just more imports, you know, like people just want to run their drug companies and just look at the damage you're doing. We could all be having so much more fun in the community. There's no fairs anymore. There's no street parties. There's no community. There's no collaboration. It's everyone on their own. You know, huddled around TV, computers. You know, belching out noise from bikes. Why don't we all get together and just have a party or something? You know, why do we have to be cruel to each other and mean spirited? You know, upset each other over what? I just like my car to all work. You know, I'm happy my truck's going well. It was a bit of a rattle, but I seem to have fixed that, so it's all right. I could have the whole Barbie kingdom, Ken and Barbie kingdom going by now. You know, wherever. It's not. It's not just American sort of. I could live anywhere. You know, if I'm a person, I might choose to live in Australia with my Barbie kingdom, or Ken and Barbie, or you know, like could live in Botswana or wherever. Have a Ken and Barbie kingdom. Why not? I have one in each country. I have a Barbie waiting for me in each country, holding the fort with all the kids and travel around, do my democratic work, diplomacy work. That's what I should be doing. We've got the internet, haven't we? It's all fake, all simulation. This is the simulation of life where it all happens simulated. That's what we're relating to every day instead of real experiences. Very sad. Anyway, it's half an hour blabbering on. I gotta get my head around all this stuff. C programming. But I'll get there. Catching up in maths a little bit slowly. Bit left behind not doing math methods at school, but just all conversions and things. I understand, you know, but there's a negative one and a negative how that or something. Yeah, I haven't quite got it perfect in my head yet, but I'll get there. Told me back a bit, and the foreign teachers, they can't understand their dialect and they run words into words. And then when they talk about something else, referring back to there, I'm like, well, are you talking about a dinosaur or a digital or what? Because they're like, digital. And you're like, huh? What was that? I don't want to interrupt them every 2 seconds and say, are you saying digital or dinosaur or... I can't for the life of me understand half the words they're saying, so I'm just getting left behind. Anyway. I'm not a racist though. Not there's anything wrong with that.